for hosting us. They have just bent over backwards to make this event possible. Thank you so much, Ron, Wendy, Allison. Give it up. Yes, please enjoy all the food, all the drinks. We have a 2-drink minimum. I'll let you know when we're about halfway through. That way, if you want to order again, please tip your bartenders. This is actually the second event of the day. So they have been working crazy all day. So we just appreciate them even more for hosting us tonight. I'd also like to give a shout out to, the light's going down a little too much here. Can we turn it up just a little bit more? Just a smidge. Thank you very much. We all good there? All right. I would like to thank my husband and our closest friend, Reese, here for helping out with tech tonight. Because I don't know how any of that stuff works, so we would just be screaming. And my husband, I want to give a shout out to him. Do you want to know the worst thing about him?
Sure. Yeah.
He's just a really great guy. That's so annoying. Like, as a comedian, gives me nothing to work with. Like, what is there even to complain about? I had to call him last week to ask him how the dishwasher works.
Does he have a brother?
Right. Married, unfortunately. No. But yeah, I was just like, is it an on-off switch? Like a light switch? Is it like a pull thing, you know? Is there a key I put in? I don't know, I still don't know how the dishwasher works. I just wait until I got home. It's really hard because I have kids. I birthed these kids and they love him more than me. How is that even fair? He went on a business trip recently and I was like, he always packs the lunches, you know? And so I have to ask my oldest, I'm like, hey, you? On the tip of my tongue. What do you eat, by the way? Like, yeah, and I know, it's so important to learn their names, you know? Because they call me by my first name, which is just so precious. And there's always an issue at pickup. They're just like so picky about the car tag, right? I can never get it right. And it's just like, I put it out and they're like, this is the wrong kid. This is the wrong school. This is a Chili's coupon. Just unsustainable expectations here. And it's like, I accidentally brought home the wrong kid recently. I didn't notice. It's about halfway home. But then I was like, they're kind of better behaved, so I just hit slide. I'll bring them back tomorrow, guys. It's not like I don't know where they go to school. But I appreciate all of you guys being out here tonight. Thank you so much. We're so excited for the show. And I'm about to introduce our next comic here. She's been doing comedy since 2019. She just moved here from Texas, and she actually has 2 IMDb credits for helping people with their comedy. And it's really cool. We're really excited to have her. And she wanted me to share this funny little tidbit. She has gotten to do comedy in front of her parents, and now she gets to live with her parents as well. Please welcome up Cher. I love that she talked about like these awkward situations that she gets into, right? Because we all get into them. Like this morning, I went to get a Walmart pickup order, and this young guy, you know what I'm talking about. This young guy comes out, he has AirPods in, he's all, you know, bulked up. And I love to use weaponized incompetence. So he comes up to the car and he's like, are you Sarah Mays? Yeah, I'm Sarah Mays. And he's like, okay, I tell him to put it back. I'm like, do you want any help? I know someone that's really heavy, and there's a lot of it. Do you need help? Are you sure you can handle it? He's like, I got it. I'm like, cool, I don't have to help. And then, like, it was awkward because, like, he couldn't find the little hitch to open up the car. And so I'm, like, shouting out my window. I'm like, no, it's a little bit higher. Nope, that's my windshield wiper. Back down. Over just a little bit. Can you turn your hand a little, like, over the other way, not too far. Just a little bit lower. Wait, hold on, that's a tailpipe. What are you doing down there? And I'm just like, man, I feel bad for his mom, right? That's what you guys are thinking. Because he's never helped out with groceries. He can't find a button. I think we've all ladies run into this issue. Can't find the button issue. Maybe Walmart Plus can do some training with the men for that. We're about to welcome up our next comic here. She has been doing comedy all over the U.S. since 2012, which is just incredible. She's all over. She's going to Chicago and just everywhere. She actually has written 5 items that you can purchase on Amazon. She's a published author. She's just an incredible woman with so many different wonderful things going on. And she actually is in a competition for the Comic Roulette competition coming up on January 2nd in St. Louis. She has past highlights for Orlando Improv, West Palm Beach Improv, Dangerfields, Gotham Comedy Club, I.O. Theater, Bonkers, and Groucho's. Please put your hands together for comedian Walker. You can see why she gets booked everywhere, right? I'm so lucky to have her. And I love that she brings up family stuff, because we all have like quirky family stuff, right? My dad, he's really big into like antiques. Anyone else into antiques? It's mostly just his clothes. His jeans are older than I am. When they split, inevitably, he has to go on eBay to buy replacements because they haven't made them since the 90s. And his shoes, this is so embarrassing. We're at Disney, right? His shoes are older than Jesus. And he goes to Disney and they just disintegrate off of his feet like Forrest Gump running with his shoes. They evaporate into nothing. And it's like, then he has to buy these like Mickey Mouse Crocs, right? Which is the newest pair of shoes that he has. And it's like an ordeal. He has to go shop for shoes and he doesn't want to make the investment. He's in the Mickey Crocs, that's all he has. And then he finally gets them. He's like, these are going to last me the next 30 years. I don't think they make them like they used to, Dad. And I told him I was going to say this, and he wanted me to add this as a weird flex, that he has a bicentennial tie. I don't know what that means. Does anyone know what that means? I think it means that he's just really old. Our next comic coming up here, she has been working in the mental health field for many years, but now she has moved into a different way to help people's mental health, comedy. And I think that's so wonderful, and I think that's helping so many people. And she has performed all over Central Florida, but most notably in Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. I'm so jealous. Please welcome up Susan Modest. Don't you all feel better? Don't you feel like your mental health is better after that? That should be a tax write-off, honestly. Yeah, and I appreciate Susan. You know, she's talking about this little invisible pooch here that she definitely does not have. Meanwhile, I've been on a diet for 30 years. Anyone else? Diet for 30 years. Yeah, I have a thing called PCOS, which means that I could eat celery all day, every day, and not lose a pound. I'm kind of like Yeah, and my doctor, she put me on metformin last year. It has one major side effect, if you know, you know. And I see a couple nods there. And it's like, it's really hard because my husband just started a diet over the summer. He's lost 25 pounds, so fuck him. And this side effect is so well known for metformin that I go to my doctor and she looks at my chart and she's like, hey, I see you're on metformin. Doesn't that give you explosive diarrhea? Yep, it does. Is this your version of small talk? Like, what's happening here? Yeah, and it's like, I've lost 15 pounds over the last year. Which is just a shit ton of diarrhea. Yeah, and people, they like to give you tips when you're on a diet. I didn't ask. And like, they like to give you tips anyway. And they tell you, like, beware of carrots. They have a lot of sugar. Like fucking carrots. That's what I gotta watch out for. What am I supposed to eat at Thanksgiving? I'll just stick with the sweet potato with all the marshmallows, because I didn't say anything about that. We have our next comic here. She just came from Jacksonville, Florida. She has spent hours in the car to be here. We have a legend in the room with us. We have many legends in the room, but she runs her own show up in Jacksonville called Spilled Milk, and I actually get to be a part of it next week. I'm so excited. She is just so funny, and you're going to love her. And she is a house comedian I'm so sorry. She is a house comedian for the Comedy Zone. It's on the top of my tongue in Jacksonville. Please give a warm welcome to J. Paul. Great comedian. I'm so glad she was able to make the trip down here. That was so great. Thank you. Yeah, and I just wanted to tell you guys, this isn't funny, just a heads up. We are about halfway. I told you I was going to warn you, so I warned you before I warned you, right? We're about halfway through here. We got a couple more comedians, but if you want to place another order for food or drink, now's a good time. If you see someone, flag them down. I guess now's as good a time as any to mention that I'm a pastor's wife. Jesus fucking Christ, right? Yeah, so after your 2 drinks, you get water, I'll turn it into wine. How about that? We're about to welcome up our next comic. She just means the world to me. She is like the picture next to my mirror that I look at when I wake up in the morning. I've been forbidden from gushing, so this is me not gushing. I adore her. She's my idol and everything I hope to be when I grow up. And Heather Hill, she got started in comedy in her hometown of Rochester, New York. She's been doing comedy all over Central Florida for years. She's won numerous comedy competitions. She's an absolute legend and idol in comedy. But most recently, she's been nominated for Best Female Stand-Up Comic Award in New Smyrna Beach at Madcap's Comedy Club for 2024 MCAs, which is incredible! Give it up for Heather Hill. Well, and I don't know if anybody else saw in the last week, I might have been the only one just like on pins and needles watching out for the storm Sarah. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see that? Which is just crazy. It's so late in the game. And like, I checked to make sure it wasn't going to affect the show. Obviously, we would refund the tickets and everything. And I look, and it says, Sarah's stuck. That feels personal, right? And then I'm reading it, and it's just like, Sarah's going nowhere. Sarah's just dumping out on everyone. Sarah is turning into a depression. Sarah is weakening. And it's just like, did my parents write this? May as well just say Sarah's a disappointment, God. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I that she did not have the same working conditions as Milton did. She had a lot going against her. She was late in the game. She tried her hardest. I feel like if we all just could have gone around Sarah and been a little more supportive, she could have been a total force of nature. Speaking of force of nature, we have our last comic coming up here. She is just so great. I love every time I get to see her. She is just so hilarious. You are going to absolutely love her and all of her just such hilarious stories. You're going to love it. And she's been performing all over Central Florida, all over Florida itself. She just got back from performing in Texas as well. And most notably, she was in the Florida's Funniest Competition, which is incredible. Give it up for Ash Cash. Keep it going for Ash Cash. That was crazy. Oh my gosh. I love her. She's so great. And that was actually our last comedian of the night. I wasn't going to do a joke, but because she brought up women's health, is it okay if I do one more joke? This is my favorite story to tell. So, I like to compare having a baby as like an elective C-section as like a Chili's to go, right? You get to plan the time and the day on your phone. You get to come in hungry. You're a little bit irritable, right? Just like a Chili's to go. And then they just cut you like a fish. Take out all your guts. Take out the baby. Stuff you back together like a Build-A-Bear. And then say congratulations. Just like a Chili's to go. And that wasn't even like the weirdest thing about it. They asked me what I wanted to do with my placenta. I was like, what the fuck? Apparently, rich white people eat it. And I'm like, how does one even prepare a placenta, right? Like a red velvet cupcake, a steak maybe, medium rare. I don't know, like how do you even, my friend, she told me she like puts it in her hair to make it like grow faster. I'm like, that's disgusting, guys. And you know, it's just weird because like one placenta can actually help 80 people, and we don't talk about it. So my hope is for all the dudes who have been grossed out through all of this. One day, I hope each and every one of you has a little bit of placenta inside of you too. This is the end of our night here. Can you please give it up for all of our comics here? I'm just so happy to have so many women in comedy. It is just such a great time to be here. Keep your hands together. Give it up for Oceanside. Thank you guys for having us. Our tech and for yourselves. We were all saying you were the best audience. Thank you so much. Please, as you settle up with the bartenders, please tip them well. They have been working tirelessly all day. This was not their first event. They are exhausted, but they just brought their A game, and we deeply appreciate them, just like we deeply appreciate you all. Thank you so much.